Welcome to Euroforum UG, where we address Ugandans from Europe, USA, Asia, Africa, Australia, and all over the globe. We share experiences, opinions, and expertise on current affairs, educative lifestyle, religion, and family matters. Follow, subscribe, and like our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Euroforum UG. You can also join our live shows every weekend on our social media platforms. For more information, visit our social media platforms or email us at euroforumug@gmail.com or WhatsApp us on +4740 574040. Euroforum UG, communicating with peers.
We come back to you. Moses Mugisha is my name, right here in Oslo, Norway. Every day, every passing day, we make sure that we find something relational, something that is of their need to you, our dear viewers. I want to greet you all out there. Good evening to those living in Central Europe, General Europe, and good afternoon to you living in the US. Thank you for all you've put together to see that you create a change that you want to see in those places where you live. With me, I have a guest, Richard Ntege. We recently hosted him here 3 weeks back, and the topic was about feedback. Today, I'm bringing him back just for one simple question. And like we did yesterday, we came in here just for a short clip of about 15, 17 minutes. We are coming back for the same. And we'll have this question that we feel is very timely and relevant to all immigrants out there. Immigrant, wherever you are, you might be actually an immigrant, a European immigrant in Cameroon, a Norwegian immigrant in Uganda, a French immigrants wherever you are. And the question is, how best would you respond or address racism at work? This is what we want to digest. And as we speak, I want to invite you out there to drop your opinion about the topic. How best would you address racism at work? This is what Richard Ntege is coming to break down. And of course, as we interact, we also engage our audience, but we want to hear more from his views. He's a very busy man where he is, very reflected. He has a profile where breaking down such things is part of work. Richard Ntege Sebo, nsanyusa okukulabako Sebo, ewa to our
Mm,
viewers.
Thank you so much, Sensational Kurabo Moses. Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege to be here. I hope it's gone great your side.
It's indeed great. Yeah, I know it's been rainy today and yesterday, but at least we're not complaining. It's been a good summer holiday. We feel very well taken care of by nature or by God. How has it been there in the UK?
We've been in the same journey. It's been raining on and off. Like
Mm, mm.
one moment it feels like sunny Uganda and the other moment actually the rain's been raining like Uganda. It's been raining bad and
Yeah,
it
but
stops.
I guess you're not as unlucky as we are in Norway. There is a joke that goes around that in Norway you can have 4 seasons of the year in one day.
Eesh. No.
You can you can have summer in the morning. You have spring, and randomly winter comes in, and later in the
Oh
evening you're
no.
having autumn. Of course, not literally portraying it that way, but the point
Yeah.
is Norwegian weather is very unstable. You can expect anything. Yes, but
Ah,
Richard, direct to the question.
yes.
I know you as one who is employed, but also an employer. How would you respond or address racism at work?
Um, sorry, bear with me. So before you get into racism, you have to pick up which corners of racism you're actually dealing with. Because
mm,
there's three, I would say these are three different approaches. You really have to find out which experience you're going through because you cannot run one thing across all boards. So there's systematical racism, there's overt racism, and the other one would be direct racism. Direct racism,
mm,
I'm gonna bring it down to let's say a tribalistic thing. I'm gonna change it so people can, you know, um, pick it up and it can fall to any side. Let's say it's one tribe. People say, "Oh, the Twagaraban Twamu North," you know, that's direct. And they literally going to tell you something for how you look directly. You're this without hiding it. Now, overt racism is something that runs. Somebody's being racist, but they're not being direct. It's almost like throwing a light on a mirror, and that light literally shines in another person's eyes instead of you shining a light straight into them. But your intention was to shine a light in that person's face, and they won't know it. It's until the person looks at the mirror and they say, hold on, this person's shining a light towards me, but they've done it a very smart way. They've shined it at the mirror, it's bouncing back at me. So in that case, you have to pinpoint where that light comes from. You don't react straight away. The first one, which is direct racism, you invoke the law. Because guess what? Everybody's seen it. And by the time that person's being directly racist, they just don't snap out. They'll be very proud of what they've done. I done this because you're
mm,
this.
mm.
It's hard for them to even jump out and then twist it that they were not racist.
They
Now,
try to
overt
justify
racism,
their actions, trying to
yeah,
justify the actions.
that's it. Now, with overt racism, you have to lead them to direct racism. Because bit by bit, if somebody's doing that, um, this thing to do with race, certain people feel like by the time somebody is to be racist to you, and I don't know if you've realized this, they have to feel that they're better than you.
Yeah, of course, certainly.
Now, one of the things
So, somebody has to be really, really bold to be racist from an
yeah,
inferior position.
yeah, thank you. So most of the times when people are doing that, and I've found this most of the times, somebody will say something racist, and then you know, you you educate them. Oh, ho 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 ho. You lead them straight into. So the first thing you have to go, oh, by the way, your racism shows that you're lower than me, and you do that intellectually, so you can bring them into a
Mm.
place where you can invoke the first one. So I'll give you a little thing. Anytime somebody's trying to be racist, I literally tell them, you're not smart enough to be racist. You know that race and ethnicity are two different things, right? And so I'm directly addressing them, but I'm throwing a curveball. I'm not talking to them. I talk to a general type. And all of a sudden, in them trying to correct me, they found
So, with
themselves,
this, you're trying not to be confrontational or taking it personal.
that's it.
You're playing an intellectual card.
Of course. Oh,
Ah,
it's very easy because that intellectual card then restores the power. Because when somebody's trying to be racist to you, they're trying to lower you.
they want you to
I'll
feel it.
That's it. They want you to feel it, but they say, "Oh," because people normally react when you're being racist to them. Oh, and no, that's up. Because they would normally say, in our case, black people normally react, but if you don't react, you go, "Oh, looks like you're not educated." But I'll just slightly correct you there, because these things are not known by the general public. If you know, the
Mm,
culture's
mm,
not really that educated. I'll just help you. And normally I would normally say, if you're in America, I would say normally what the Americans think, or normally what the Brits think, or normally what the Norwegians think. But the education system didn't teach them that.
okay.
And then they'll want to correct you, and in trying to correct you, they'll flip it. So what I normally do, I take them back to Buganda. I'm like, you might probably think that Buganda is a tribe. No, it's a nation. Translated, you wouldn't know what Buganda is. It's Ganda is one tree, Buganda is many. And that's Buganda's direct translation for United Kingdom. I don't think you knew that. And this goes all the way back to the 1600s, and I don't think they ever told you that, did they? And that's ethnicity. No, we were not enslaved. No, it was a protectorate. Oh, you wouldn't know what that is. Oh goodness. But hey, it's cute. It's cute what you're doing there. Ooh. But black people are like that. I'm like, don't.
But Richard, are you trying to really practice what you preach? I mean,
Oh
being
yes,
calm.
yes,
Do you tend to be this calm when
yes.
responding to
Oh
most
yes,
of direct
yes, yes.
racism?
Because that direct
Yeah.
racism, I don't. I invoke the law.
Covert racism.
Covert.
Because
Oh yes, yes.
you said you
Because
lead them to direct racism. You try to
yes,
interpret what they're doing, what they said, what they're doing, for them to
that's
really
it.
feel that they're doing direct racism. But my only concern here, or what I picked, what I borrowed it from you, are you this calm like you sound now?
Oh, yes. Because now this
Okay.
is a game of chess. Remember,
Mm,
racism, people have ideals, or people have things that they'll say. If you do this to a black person, they're going to react. They're going to
mm.
confront you. They're not going to be intellectual. They're the animal.
Just to cut you short, I remember somewhere we're having a session with a group of students, and
Mm,
when laying out who is to take which group, I was assigned a particular group, and the topic of discussion was about the Negroes back in the times.
mm,
And my colleagues who are in charge of distributing who is to do what, kind of had conflicting opinions on whether or not Moses should be given that group. A section felt that was racist already. Another felt that was a bit unkind. How could he be asked to again use words like the Negroes and yeah? So you see, there is already an atmosphere where there is a lot of discomfort in addressing certain aspects. Maybe some do it purposely, intentionally to drive a point home. Others, it's empathy, trying to understand and respect otherness. I
that's
don't
it.
know. I don't know. I'm trying.
So in that case, Um, now here's another thing why we normally react, because we don't even know racism was something that was created. I'll give you, and I think I'm just gonna bring it this way so you kind of pick up that word racism. Its original term was this, actually, and this is a very quick test. Racism was a study of race that was made up for the origins of species.
Mm,
The same way you have, once you have the ism behind it, it becomes a subject.
Imperialism,
Thank you. It becomes a subject.
nationalism.
Thank you. And that's why a person who practices it has a ist behind it. So when you call somebody racist,
Mm,
it's not a it's not something negative. It's actually something positive. The same way you have a physicist. So when somebody's good at chemistry, you call them a chemist.
chemist.
Good at biology, you call them Somebody
Biologists.
who's
Mhm.
studied biology to some, it's great. You call them somebody studied chemistry to their greatest. You call them now, if somebody studied race to its greatest point, and they can differentiate between races, you call them a racist.
But also, Richard, you must be aware that I remember back in the days in my O level, uh,
Mm.
students who took up subjects like physics, chemistry, many of them used to brag, we are chemists. I mean, at their level, when they
That's
haven't
it.
even really known what is I mean, what is chemistry in its, if you open it up from first principles, what is chemistry? But to them, they were chemists. Maybe even they are racists who might think
Thank
they really
you.
know what they are doing, but only
Thank
meandering
you.
and gambling around.
So this is a play of words. So in that case, it becomes chess. It
Mm, mm,
becomes
mm.
who's got the most knowledge. When it comes to overt racism, it becomes who's got the most knowledge and who's going to take down the other one with the most knowledge. Like chess. Of course, if you don't have that much knowledge, and that's the reason why this show would be really good, if you don't have that much knowledge about what's happening to you, you've lost the game of chess or checkers. You know, they're going to eat your little what you call it. So you have to know what to bring out. And in that case, you use knowledge. Because you have to understand, especially for people in the diaspora, if somebody's racist against you and you're in Africa, it's understandable. But if you're in the diaspora, this is not your background. It's a place that you visited. They'll still try to track you back. So first thing is know the grounds you're on and what is actually happening. And again, how you expected to react. So with that one, you bring out wisdom and pure knowledge. And that's the importance of families in the diaspora educating their kids where they're from and what makes their backgrounds very unique. Because every time they say black people or the word Negro, by the way, that term was a derogatory term for slaves. And so you have to
Mm.
sometimes correct. Oh, hold on. We were not enslaved. So, so before you
But
start,
Richard,
yes.
what I perceive of you is that you sound very calm, composed, informed, secure.
Oh,
And I
yes.
don't want to think that there are so many Richards out there. Could you narrow this down to an average immigrant? I mean, who is not even quarter way your bar?
Um,
Because this message might not reach home if we assume that there are so many Richards out there. An
Now,
average immigrant, how would they address this?
averaging still be calm and make sure that the person calmness. Remember, the moment you're angry, let you be
Yeah,
knowledgeable, or not you fit the description, because that's what the person's aiming for you to do. This is
exactly.
an unwritten code. By the time somebody tries to be overtly racist, they're trying to pull the monkey out of you.
Mm. The
Because,
Negro out of you,
thank you.
the black man out of
They, because see, they're trying to pull the
you,
stereotype out of
the
you.
poor African.
Thank you. They're not civilized. That's
Mm.
not what I meant. They just
And then they'll
react.
say, improve your argument, but rather than raising your voice.
Thank
Typical
you.
African.
And guess what? They've left you in that place and you're
Mm.
isolated. Even if you cannot talk, you go, oh, really? Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you just explain it? Can you bring a better, can you give me a historical context? Can you just, you know, it, entertain me? I want to know
Mm.
more. And as they go, you go, well, be careful because you don't want to come off as racist. No. Even though you're telling them that you're being racist, you have to be calm. And that
Mm.
calmness throws off so many people because their intention was to bring out the Negro,
Yeah, sure.
the
Mm, mm,
stereotypical
mm.
Negro. And I'm like, I'm not going to give you that right so easily. Because remember, every single time things happen, we are expected. It's not like a surprise when you react, like, oh my goodness, why are you reacting? It's expected, by the way.
So, Richard, what I perceive
Yes.
of your approach is that we ought to try as much as we can to be not to be predictable,
Yes.
because they know where they're leading you.
That's it.
And yes, and just to tie up all this we've had in this session here, because I want our people to inculcate the idea of digesting small bits of such relevant information, because
Hmm.
then it will in turn become something for them to always easily refer to. Someone could even use this as something as a pep talk every time things
Wow.
to be burning or going or off the track. Could you,
Hmm.
in brief, give like a pop of how one should address racism at work as we wind up?
Okay. So
Mm.
with that, racism at work first. Just like an emergency, an aircraft's going down. Be calm. Understand what's happening. Be calm. Understand what's happening. Where you need to invoke the law, but make sure that you're walking with facts. And those facts, just like in a courtroom, are what get you to the end. So if it's systematical racism, again, be calm. Find out exactly what's happening and make sure that whoever is carrying it out. Now, systematical racism might be a little harder, but we've already covered the overt racism, direct racism. I had to start with direct racism. That one invoke the law. Don't beat around the bush and don't be apologetic with it. Overt racism, be calm and lead people towards a part where they have to be direct with their racism. Because nowadays, thank God, we have laws that can literally push that aside. Now, systematical racism, again, you have to be systematic because it's a system of racism.
Mm, mm. So, in other
So
words, to fight a system, you have to be systematic.
you have to be systematic. And so, fighting the system, there's so many systems, by the way, of beating systematic racism. Now, systematical racism at the top pulls finances to the other person or pulls power and position to the other person. Now, we know that power is people and finances, again, is people. So if systematically somebody is being racist, and by the way, they have to use a system for them to be racist, then you use numbers. Numbers with your money, numbers with support of that place. You don't go towards them. If they're trying to pull you down, you literally say, well, this place does not employ black people this way, or this place doesn't welcome the black vote. We take our power, which are the numbers, away. And any person that actually sees that this place does that and they don't come out to address it, you've beat them using the system.
Sounds smart.
So you have to be calm and figure out
Mm.
if an individual has been racist towards you, be smart. This is individual. If it's a company, then make sure you expose that company using the system. I don't care if it's a school, if it's a business, no system wants to be seen being systematically racist.
No, there are not so many, apart
Thank
from the a few radical ones.
Oh, they can still try, but remember nowadays, if the system beats you, guess what? Oh, people will
Out of
march.
business. Mm.
Yup, they're out of business. Even their partners don't want to be connected to a person who's doing that. You be isolated. So that's where you invoke the system, but we have to know the systems.
Thank you so much,
You're
Richard.
welcome.
Um, this, for me, I feel you've given me something to refer to every
Wow.
time I need to stand up. I love the fact that you regularly remind us of being calm, because of course that
Wow.
comes with comes with personal training and being intentional on that, because it doesn't come as a default setting in humanity. I mean, the default setting is being violent, throwing tantrums and raising your voice. And yes, but I love that. And thank you so much. We hope to get you back here on board to share your insights on what should be the mother tongue for a child who is born in an interracial marriage or relationship. I think that also ties with exactly this very topic. It might have
Thank
elements of racism, but not really racism. But some things might be guided by ignorance. But we shall come back to that. To you,
thank you.
our beloved viewers, we want to thank you so much. Reminding you, for those living in Norway, that on the 11th of October, we shall be celebrating our independence. And but before that, we shall be having an Independence Cup where we shall be having 4 teams: Uganda, with the hosts, Sudan, Ghana, and Zimbabwe. And to our brothers and sisters in Sweden, on the 4th, you'll be also celebrating your independence. Reach out to the organizers, find out all this information, and ask the people who have that information to find a spot where to celebrate or join hands with your countrymen or your community. But with that said, I want to thank you all and ask Richard to uh, give his last remark on this as we wind up.
Thank you so much. Um, and thank you for everybody that's watching. My final remarks are racism comes with a stereotype. Figure out that stereotype. If you didn't know the stereotype, figure out the stereotypes. Let's beat them. You'd hear things like black people can't swim, black people don't read. The books are your uh kryptonite. um Black people are never on time. Beat the stereotype. That's part of beating racism. They created the stereotype and then they walked away from racism. And so if you live the stereotype, you're part of the problem. Beat the stereotype, be calm, and beat the system. That's the system. The system that's still running us right now is the stereotype. Beat the stereotype and beat racism. It's as simple as that. Thank you.
That's Richard Ntege for you. I heard you somewhere using an analogy of an aircraft. Just to those watching us here, this gentleman here is an aircraft engineer. So he's sitting on a lot of engineering knowledge there. Maybe we shall one time bring you here to share your story. We are known for
Wow.
tapping into people's stories. Maybe it will be one other episode where I shall come to tap into your story to manye wabituka kuotia. Maybe you could inspire life out there. But with that, we want to thank you all for keeping your focus on Euroforum. Thank you to my team on Euroforum, and thank you to our dear viewers. Stay tuned. On Sunday, we shall be having Samantha Elf hosting 2 guests from the US and UK, where we'll be interacting on a topic about love, wondering if love is just enough to hold a relationship or there are other inputs that we people need or people need those in love. More of
Hmm.
that, tune in at 17:30. That will be finish time, and it will be 16:30 Norwegian time or Central European time. Bye bye for now. We sign out. Euroforum.
Welcome to Euroforum UG, where we address Ugandans from Europe, USA, Asia, Africa, Australia, and all over the globe. We share experiences, opinions, and expertise on current affairs, educative lifestyle, religion, and family matters. Follow, subscribe, and like our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Euroforum UG. You can also join our live shows every weekend on our social media platforms. For more information, visit our social media platforms or email us at euroforumug@gmail.com or WhatsApp us on +4740 574040. Euroforum UG, communicating with peers.